Hello and welcome to Mitv Primetime News. I am Teresa at DME. We'll begin the news tonight with the top stories. NBC temporarily suspends shutdown of indebted broadcast stations. On trapped funds, CBN releases $265 million to airlines. From foreign scene, Europe's energy costs skyrocket. Sport. On Europa League, Man United to face Real Sociedad as Arsenal draw PSV. Now the news in details. The Speaker of the Economic Community of West African State ECOWAS Parliament, Honorable Saidi Mohamed Tunis, has called for improved budgetary allocation to agriculture. Tunis made the call at the opening of the delocalized meeting of the ECOWAS Parliament Joint Committee on Agriculture, Environment and Natural Resources, Infrastructure, Energy and Mines and Industry and Private Sector in Bissau, capital of Guinea-Bissau. Correspondent Linda Ike reports that the Speaker said the budget increment will help address the challenges of food security presently being witnessed by citizens of the sub-region. Honorable Tunis, who was represented by the second Deputy Speaker of the Parliament, Malam Sani Chaibu Bokari, urged the parliamentarians to come up with recommendations to save the member states from terrorism, prevent war and reduce hunger, as these are the negatively affecting the community citizens. Dr. Omar Luto recommended the Parliament for the initiative, saying that the focus will address major issues confronting the people of the sub-region.
Investment in our banks to get private sector, the entire value chain, to invest in agriculture. Access to land is very difficult, even though some countries like my country have passed, but they don't have money.
The civil society organizations have appealed to the ECOWAS Parliament to legislate policies that will improve political wills to making agriculture more sustainable in Africa. Speaking at the delocalized meeting of the ECOWAS Parliament in Guinea-Bissau, the President of the Farmers Union of Liberia and First Vice President of the Europa Monrovia Liberia, Josephine George Francis, said more is expected from MPs at addressing the challenges of agriculture in the sub-region. She maintained that agriculture is a business and there is need to grow food to feed the population. Correspondent Linda Ike reports that she further said most countries in the region have not come up to the benchmark of increasing the budget to 10% for agriculture towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030, adding that agriculture can create minimum employment for Africans. On his part, a parliamentarian for climate change, Banjo Gambia, Mr. Boubacar, changed MPs to see climate change, MPs to see climate change as a reality that causes a lot of emergencies around the world.
Women willing to buy land, but they don't have money. So how can they get money to purchase the land? So that's another political will. Help the women in the different clans to help them to have land. Help the youth to have land and make agriculture attractive to the young.
We all know that climate change is a reality. It's causing a lot of emergencies already. And if no decisive action is taken, our continent and the world at large would be suffering. So that's why we felt parliamentarians have this.
The firm of the state chairman of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, has called for the dissolution of the National Working Committee and the immediate resignation of the national chairman, Oke Umosu. The chairman of the forum, Kingsley Temitope, made the call at the National Secretariat in Abuja after the forum passed a vote of no confidence in the current leadership of the party. It lamented that the national chairman has been serving for the past 17 years, refusing to hand over the leadership decks of the party. The Edo State chairman of the ADP, Kennedy Odion, while condemning the current leadership for shutting members of the state chairman forum from assessing the next meeting held at the secretariat, stated that the tenure of the current administration is overdue and must be deserved. The national chairman, however, insisted that there is no crisis rocking the party, as been speculated by some aggrieved members.
I stand by this resolution that there is no way the NEC have decided that our tenure the tenure of the National Working Committee is due.
Today be the 25th of August 2022. The current NWC stand dissolved in our communique, and we remain resolute on that stand. And henceforth, the committee will be dissolved, and we came here now with the chairman, who actually formed the capacity forum of the NEC member.
Anyway, we've held a NEC. We've held a NEC, and the NEC meeting have resolved that because of the election coming.
Political realignment and maneuvering ahead of the 2023 general elections may have begun as the Southwest Zonal Offices and the State Executive of the People's Democratic in Ogun State have received defectors from other political party into the state chapter of the party in Ogun. The event held at the State Secretariat of the party along the Presidential Boulevard in the state capital attracted the presence of the zonal ESCO of the party, state officials, the governorship candidate of the party in the state, Ladi Adebutu, and his deputy. The event witnessed the presentation of party flag to representatives of the defectors into the party, as well as the unveiling of the party's candidate vying for different elective positions in the state. Leaders after leaders and the governorship candidate of the party took their stand to seek more peace, unity of purpose, and the need for the supporters to collect their permanent voters card to be able to perform their civic duty come 2023. The leaders assured the new party members of equity and a level playing ground in order to ensure sense of belonging among members. The party, however, promised a good run for the ruling All Progressive Congress in the country, saying the victory is assured at all levels in the 2023 general elections.
Governors and candidates of PDP in the Southwest. And finally, on behalf of our national chairman, Ijosa Ayu, you are admitted. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. PDP Southwest is one. We are in.
The Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, says it will commence the construction of its North Central Zonal Office in Nasarawa State in January 2023. Executive Secretary of TED Fund, Aksoni Echono, made this known during a court service to the fund by Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State in Abuja. Echono, who expressed delight over the tremendous impact of TED Fund intervention project in tertiary education institutions in Nasarawa State, said the zonal office would bring beneficiary institutions in the North Central region closer to the fund. Correspondent Miriam Enakimo reports that he expressed appreciation to the governor for allocating land for the construction of the North Central Zonal Office, while expressing readiness of TED Fund to reposition public tertiary education institution for better performance. Echono lauded President Muhammadu Buhari for his massive support for the fund, which has seen an upward review of education tax to 2.5%.
TED Fund is poised to deliver on its mandate to the Nigerian education system. We want to assure all our beneficiary institutions that we are still improving even on the acknowledged strides that were recorded by this institution. And with the support of people like His Excellency, the federal government, and all our beneficiary institutions, we commit to improve on those achievements.
It has taken over completely the payment of salaries of the University of Kefi and staff. Because of the ASU strike, we've been having our meetings quietly, trying to see how we can call off the strike. And we've been talking, but part of the conditions was for Nasarawa State to start paying. We were paying maybe 50% or so, and they were paying 50% from their IGR. So from this month, we decided that we will pay 100% as part of the settlement.
The National Broadcasting Commission on Friday temporarily rescinded its decision to shut down certain broadcast stations over failure to renew their licenses. A week ago, the Commission issued a shutdown notice to the licenses of Safe Television, AIT, Repower FM, and Reading FM, amongst others, over a debt of 2.66 billion naira. Following the ultimatum, the broadcast body received positive responses from the debtor licensees, including big players in the broadcast industry. This was made known in a communique signed by the Director General Balarabe Shehu Lela, where he confirmed the decision to put a halt to revoking the licenses of the defaulting media organizations. Ilela says sequel to a follow-up meeting held with executives of the broadcast organizations of Nigeria Burn and other critical stakeholders in the industry, the Commission has decided to temporarily suspend the shutdown of the indebted broadcast stations all over the country. The communique also revealed that NBC was aware of the inconveniences the shutdown must have caused the operators and other stakeholders, but it insisted that it will always operate within the National Broadcasting Commission Act Cap and 11 laws of the Federation 2004. The National Bureau of Statistics says Nigeria's gross domestic product grew by 3.5% in the second quarter of 2022 on a year-on-year basis. This is contained in a statement issued by the Statistician General of the Federation and Chief Executive Officer, National Bureau of Statistics, Prince Semiu Adeniro, on the Nigerian Gross Domestic Product Report, Q2 2022 in Abuja on Friday. Semiu said in nominal terms, aggregate GDP stood at 45 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2022. According to him, this performance is higher when compared to the second quarter of 2021, which recorded 39.12 trillion naira, indicating a year-on-year nominal growth rate of 15.03%. He said the nominal GDP in the preceding quarter of Q1 2022 stood at 45.32 trillion naira. Adeniro said that in terms of real GDP, the second quarter of 2022 was recorded at 17.29 trillion naira. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has released a sum of $265 million to airlines operating in the country to settle outstanding ticket sales in an apparent move to check a brewing crisis in the country's aviation sector. A breakdown of the figure released on Friday indicated that the sum of $230 million was given a special forex intervention, while another sum of $35 million was released through the retail SMIS auction. Confirming the release, the Director of Corporate Communications Department at the CBN, Mr. Osita Nwansiobi, said the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele and his team were concerned about the development and what it portends for the sector and travelers, as well as the country, in the Committee of Nations. Nwansiobi reiterated that the bank was not against any company repatriating its funds from the country, adding that what the bank stood for was an orderly exit for those that might be interested in doing so. With Friday's release, it is expected that operators and travelers as well will heave huge sighs of relief, as some airlines are threatening to withdraw their services in the face of remitted funds for their standard sale of tickets. Members of the Ikeja Crystal Lions Club has took the campaign on drug abuse to residents and other persons in the Alausa, Ikeja area to commemorate the 2022 International Youth Day. Speaking at the event, Lion Ikechupu Ugu, the president of the club, said that the campaign was part of the club's contribution to the reduction in the incidence of drug abuse among Nigerian youth, especially the Ikeja area of Lagos State. It stated that drug abuse was rising among young Nigerians and stressed the need to take measures to reverse the trend. Also speaking at the event, Lion Catherine Obalim, the district chairperson for Africa Forum and charter president of the club, stressed the need to reduce drug abuse among young Nigerians. She urged agencies of government saddled with the responsibility of sensitizing Nigerians against social vices to take the campaign to the grassroots, adding that all hands should be on deck to save young Nigerians from acts that threaten their future.
We are to complement the agencies of government. We are to complement their work. We in the Lions Club International were to do that. And that's why we see that no, government cannot do everything. And that's one thing about Lions Club. We don't leave everything to government. But we also want to challenge them. We also want to encourage them. Let everybody do their work and go out and publicize the danger of drug abuse. Let people know that taking drug and abusing drug is not good. Every drug has side effects.
To advise our youth, on a better way forward, how the drug aspect, the problem the drug has really caused, in our society. If you're into drugs and all these things, it's not even the best. You see a lot of youth misbehaving. We want the best for our youth. We want to really impart knowledge to our youth and, to ensure that they come out as a good youth in our society.
And we're also carrying a campaign to drug dealers that they will also know that selling expired drug is detrimental to society. Every humanitarian organization, every non-governmental organization should be involved in this campaign. The government agencies are trying, but they need to reach the grassroots.
International association, and what we do basically is about humanity. It's all about service and service and service. That's what we do, just to make sure, because whenever there is a need, there must be a lion. That's what we stand for.
That's all from the local scene tonight. We go on a quick break to bring you foreign stories. Please stay with us. This is Mitv Primetime News. Now to foreign stories. As Europe's energy costs skyrocket, Russia is burning off large amounts of natural gas. The Cedar plant near the border with Finland is burning an estimated $10 million equivalent to 8.4 million pounds worth of gas every day. Experts say the gas would previously have been exported to Germany. Germany's ambassador to the UK told reporters that Russia was burning the gas because they couldn't sell it elsewhere. Scientists are concerned about the large volumes of carbon dioxide and soda it is creating, which could exacerbate the melting of Arctic ice. The analysis by Rystad Energy indicated around 4.34 million cubic meters of gas are being burned by the flare every day. It is coming from a new liquefied natural gas LNG plant at Portovaya, northwest of St. Petersburg. President Volodymyr Zelensky has said Europe faced the prospect of a radiation disaster when the Russian-occupied nuclear plant was disconnected from Ukraine's power grid. It was only due to backup electricity kicking in that the Zaporizhzhia plant was able to operate safely, he added. Fires had earlier damaged overhead power lines, cutting the plant off. There is growing concern over fighting near the complex, which is the largest nuclear plant in Europe. President Zelensky went on Thursday night that the diesel generators hadn't turned in if the automation and our staff of the plant had not reacted after the blackout, then we would already be forced to overcome the consequences of the radiation accident. The damage was caused by fires which Ukraine State Nuclear Agency said had interfered with power lines connecting the plant on Thursday, temporarily cutting Zaporizhzhia off from the national grid for the first time in its history. And that's all from the foreign scene. Another quick break would do to bring you sports stories. Please stay with us. You're still watching Mitv Primetime News. Now talking sports. Europa League finalists Manchester United have been seeded to face Real Sociedad, Moldovan club